Yo, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be looking at some Scarlet and Violet cards that got revealed. A bunch of Scarlet and Violet cards got revealed last night here on Poke Beach, and I thought it'd be a great time to react to them. Haven't looked at all of them yet. I've seen a few of them, but I haven't really given them an in-depth look yet, and I thought I would do kind of a first reaction, in-depth look at all the Scarlet and Violet cards that just got revealed here on Poke Beach tonight in today's video. So I think without further ado, we're going to look at it. I don't think they revealed every single one. From what it says here, some EX Pokemon will feature a Terastal effect box. So it's kind of like an ancient trade, I'm pretty sure, which is kind of cool. So let's take a look here at some of the new cards that got revealed. So starting things off, we have Arcanine EX. Now, Arcanine EX is a Terastal. It does have the Terastal effect here, where it doesn't take any damage from attacks while on the bench. It might be relevant when you're playing against like a spread deck like Urshifu or Radiant Greninja. But the big thing to note is that it's a Stage 1 EX Pokemon with 280 HP, and it evolves from a 90 HP Growlithe. So this is kind of the thing with EXs coming back. Actually, the Growlithe the artwork on the Growlithe kind of reminds me of something from like the old days of like the EX Ruby Sapphire era. And I think he even mentions that here. No, well, I guess he mentions that EXs came in, but I don't know, the artwork on the Growlithe kind of looks like something from back in the day in Pokemon. Like, I don't know if that's just me, but it just kind of looks like an old school Growlithe. Like, it looks like an old school updated Growlithe. But yeah, Arcanine does evolve from a 90 HP Growlithe, so right off the bat, you're going to notice these EX Pokemon evolving from Pokemon that aren't two-prizers is a huge deal. Because, well, it does still have a lot of HP. I mean, 280 is actually kind of ridiculous, but it is actually evolving from a one-prizer, so it's not like your opponent gets the first boss on you, you immediately lose the game. But what does Arcanine's attacks do exactly? Well, it does have the attack Raging Claws. For 2 fires, does 30 plus 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Honestly, that's not even bad. You gotta remember, Arcanine does work with fire support cards like Rapidash, which is a huge deal. Rapidash does work with Arcanine. 280 HP is very bulky. You can also use Heat Fire Energy with this card, but I don't think... Actually, well, I guess by the time it comes out, rotation might happen, so never mind. But if that is just kind of a thought to consider. And then we got Bright Flame. For 3 fires, does 250, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. You gotta remember, Arcanine does work with Magma Basin, which is pretty nice. It does work with Magma Basin. You can use it with Raihan. You can use it with Basin, Rapidash, of course. So I kind of like it. Now, water Pokemon are still relevant. Obviously, Articuno, Palkia, Kyurem, VMAX are all pretty popular still. But honestly, I can still see this card being okay. It's honestly not a bad card. It only gives up 2 prizes. Very tanky Pokemon. 280 HP. Evolves from a 90 HP Growlithe, which does help you quite a bit if your opponent is like trying to gust you. And of course, its attacks are all pretty good. Raging Claws does quite a bit of damage if you just kind of sponge hits. And with 280 HP, unless you're playing against a water deck, they ain't one-shotting you, I'll tell you that. Next up is Magnezone EX, which I guess got fully revealed here. 330 HP, Stage 2 Pokemon, so a little bit harder to get into play, but it does have a lot of HP. 330 is a lot of HP. It's got like the same amount of HP almost as an Eternatus VMAX. Take that in. So, Magnezone, of course, does have the attack Lightning Crush, doing 50 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So, not a bad attack. Obviously, you know, we're in an age where energy is kind of getting put into play. Obviously, Lugia is one of the Pokemon that, like, kind of puts a lot of energy in play pretty quickly. So, not a bad first attack. 1 for 50 times can be pretty decent. Then we got Pulse Launcher, 200 damage. Then it takes 30 damage. So, just 200 takes 30. Or is that 220 damage, actually? It's 220. Oh, he missed. Oh, he made a typo there. It's 220 damage for 2 energy. So, yeah, not a bad card. It is a Lightning type Stage 2. I want it to be good. I think the only problem is not that it's a Stage 2 Pokemon, because actually it's worth it to put this thing into play. You put it, like other Stage 2 Pokemon, you put into play, it's not going to get, like, KO'd right away. This thing is actually not going to get KO'd right away because of how tanky it is. But I don't know if it's really all that good. It doesn't do a lot of damage, which is kind of the problem. I mean, 50 times for each energy is okay. There are decks that do kind of walk into that, like Lugia, Arceus variants, but I don't know how good this card will be. But it does have the ability to work with Cheryl, and sometimes Cheryl Lightning Energy Crush might just kind of be good enough to win games, I guess. So it's all right. Next up, we have Miraidon EX. I haven't played Scarlet Violet yet, so I don't know how to pronounce these fully, but this is a basic Pokemon, a basic EX Pokemon with 220 HP. I know these kind of got sneak peeked at Worlds this year. We do have the ability Tandem Human. Once during your turn, you may search check for two basic light energy and put them onto your bench, and then shuffle your deck. So, I mean, that's a pretty crazy ability. Getting 2 free basic lighting Pokemon onto your bench for free is kind of ridiculous. It doesn't look like it ends your turn either, looking at the translation, so you don't really have any kickback for doing this ability, which is actually really, really good. Lightning Pokemon are good. There obviously are a lot of good ones to choose from. There's Regieleki V. There's Mareep is a good one. Obviously, you can play it with, I think, Magnezone would be a good option, too. And it's a 2-prizer with 220 HP. So it's kind of a Zacian V. You know, it's kind of like Zacian V where it's like, you know, a 220 HP basic V Pokemon with a really good support ability. Its attack ain't bad either. Just 220 damage for 2 lightning and a colorless, and then it can't attack next turn. So pretty, like, mediocre card, all things, like, all around. But the ability is what will make it see play. Like, its attack is kind of mediocre. It's just kind of a stage, you know, a 2-prizer that'll sit in your bench. But it does have a pretty good ability for lightning decks, and it's a good support ability. And having a good support ability like that, I think, is really cool. So definitely not a bad card. And then, of course, we got Koraidon EX, which is a fighting Pokemon, 230 HP. Once again, it is a basic Pokemon with the ability Dino Cry. Once you're in turn, you may attach up to 2 basic fighting energy from your discard pile to your basic fighting Pokemon in any way you like. If you use this ability, however, your turn will end. And that is a pretty big deal. Obviously, unlike the other one, your turn doesn't end when you do the ability. This one does. But it is a very good ability. Being able to put 2 basic energy from your discard pile on your basic fighting Pokemon is actually really good. Now, having to end your turn is kind of bad. You can probably pair that with, like, Diancie, though, so that you can't get gusted, which is probably fine. There are a lot of Pokemon you can play this with. You can play with Rapidash Urshifu, Sandaconda VMAX, Lycanroc VMAX. Trying to think of fighting Pokemon you could pair this with. There's a lot of them. You could play it with Arcanine V, Hisuian Arcanine V. You could play it with, I guess, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of Pokemon you can play this with. There's too many to think about. Not a bad ability, and this does work. Yeah, no, I think it's good. It does. I was about to say it does work with any Pokemon, but yeah, it's only fighting Pokemon. It is nice to see good fighting support, though. Fighting Pokemon have been kind of on, like, the back end of, like, support, you know. There hasn't really been, like, a good fighting support card in a while. Like, the best fighting Pokemon is literally Rapidash Urshifu, and that's because it can attack for 1 energy, and every other fighting Pokemon has been kind of underwhelming since, so it's nice to see fighting Pokemon get some support. It's got basically the same attack, too. 220 damage, can't attack next turn, so not bad. Both of these Pokemon are, like, pretty solid cards. They got good abilities, and that's about it. Their attacks are okay for what they're worth, but their abilities are kind of what puts them over the edge. Unless there's some card that is in this set that I haven't looked at yet that does make these cards even better than they already are from looking at them. I guess we're going to find out. A big thing, actually, ooh, it looks like we got Professor's Research back, folks. Professor's Research is now coming back. Well, it already got reprinted, but it got reprinted once again in the base set here. So basically, when we get rotation, so we're going to get Battle Styles on in February probably, and then we're going to get Brilliant Stars on. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Brilliant Stars on. It's going to be the next rotation after that. And then the next rotation is going to be Scarlet and Violet on, which means that Research got reprinted in the base set. But not only did Research get reprinted, it looks like Ultra Ball got reprinted too, which is a pretty big deal. Obviously, Ultra Ball is in Brilliant Stars, but this just means that when rotation does come around, when it does become Scarlet and Violet on, we now have Ultra Ball in the format. So that is pretty good. Ultra Ball sticking around is good. Obviously, we are losing Quick Ball, which is a pretty big deal. We're also losing Evolution Incense. So really all we have is like Ultra Ball, Level Ball, and Battle VIP Pass. So it is nice to see Ultra Ball is going to still stick around even after like more rotations. Then we got Beach Court here. The retreat cost of each player's base Pokemon is 1 colorless less. All right, I was hoping that was going to involve, like, energy, kind of like Training Court or Viridian Forest. But, yeah, it's not a bad effect. Yeah, it's cool to have a stadium like this because we are losing Air Balloon with rotation. Air Balloon is rotating, and that is a pretty big deal. So it is nice to see Beach Court being printed here. Not bad. I don't know if it'll, like, see play, though. There are better stadiums in the format. And, I mean, I guess with Training Court leaving could be relevant to play this. This could be pretty good in Comfy decks because now you have, like, a free retreat pivot for Comfy. When Comfy loses stuff like Balloon and Scoop Up Net, it might be okay to play this stadium card in that deck. So, not the worst card we could have gotten, to be honest. And then we got some more cards here. We got Lucario EX. All right, Lucario EX. You got to remember, it is a Stage 1 with 260. Evolves from a Riolu with 70 HP, not a Lucario V or Riolu V with, like, 190 HP. Gives up 2 prizes. So, this card you can play with the other EX here, the Koraidon EX, so you got to keep that in mind. All right, we got Low Kick, does 60 damage, pretty bad. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a pretty vanilla card, just already from looking at it. Aura Sphere, 160 damage, does 50 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Not the worst card ever. Its damage output is kind of low. 160 damage is two-shotting things. 50 damage to a bench Pokemon, though, honestly, isn't terrible. Like, that's not bad damage. But Manaphy exists. I don't think Manaphy's going anywhere. I'm pretty sure we're going to get, like, more good bench sniping cards. I don't see Manaphy not seeing play anytime soon. It's not a bad card. It's okay. Kind of a vanilla card, though. It's pretty mediocre. Its damage output is just kind of low. But yeah, like, look at the artwork on some of these cards, like the Mareep, the Flaffy. You can like the texture on the card looks very like old schooly. The artwork's pretty nice. This is kind of like a retro looking artwork on the Mareep and stuff. Kind of looks like something you'd see in like when Gold and Silver first came out. Then we got another EX. We got Ampharos EX, another Stage 2 Lightning Pokemon with 330 HP. Will it be better than Magnezone? Let's take a look. One Lightning does 60 damage. All right, not great. And then Lightning Tail for Lightning and 2 colors, a.k.a. double Turbo Energy. 140 damage. You may discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. If you do, you can do 100 more damage. Now, I'm pretty sure you can play this with Turbo Energy, and you can actually discard Turbo Energy to do 260 damage, and then you can play a Choice Belt and do 290, which will knock out like some of the other EXs, and you can also knock out V-Star Pokemon. I don't hate it, actually. I guess with like a, I think with Hawlucha plus Choice Belt, you'd actually be knocking out VMAXs too. So, honestly, this ain't even that bad of a card. I mean, yeah, it is a Stage 2, though, so it is a little bit slower. It doesn't work with Arceus V-Star, but it's honestly not a bad card. I don't hate it. You can play with Flaffy, too, which is obviously pretty cool because you're playing Ampharos EX in a Flaffy deck. Why would you not want to play that? Not a bad card at all. I actually kind of like it. It's not bad. It does damage, and doing damage is good. Also, evolving from, you know, basics into a big, like, again, the differences between Ampharos EX and, like, a Stage 2 Ampharos with 170 HP is they're evolving from, you know, 60 HP Mareeps. You gotta remember, though, when you actually get the Ampharos in play, it's not getting knocked out, most likely, because it's got so much HP, and that is one of the benefits of having the EX Pokemon evolve from these low HP Pokemon. Yo, we got Quaxly. All right, best card in the set right there. We got Mimikyu EX. So let's see what this does. Void Return, 30 damage. You may switch Pokemon from your bench Pokemon. Nothing special there. And then we got Energy Burst, 30 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. Kind of like Mewtwo EX. Probably not very good. It's a little on the weaker side. 190 HP is very weak. It doesn't even have any resistance, it looks like. So probably not going to see any play. I could be wrong, though, but I don't think it will see play. It's got a really cool like design. Like the art on the card is really good, but really beautiful looking card, but not a very playable card from the looks of it. Then we got, of course, your bog standard draw 3 supporter coming back with Nimona, draw 3 cards. Let's get it. We got Research and we got Hop coming back. What's not to love? And then we got another promo. We got Silizar. All right, sorry. Again, I haven't played Scarlet Violet yet. I can't pronounce the names. All right, whoops. All right, what does this do? Power Run. One colorless, just 30 damage. Search your deck for a basic energy and attach it to this Pokemon. All right, you have a way to build it up. Full throttle, 180 damage. Okay, yeah, this card is pretty bad. Yeah, no, this card's pretty bad. Doesn't really do anything special. Cool Pokemon, I guess. But Silizar, yeah. Silizar. One of the two. Not great. Yeah, kind of vanilla. And that's about it. Yeah, that's about it for the reveals. I haven't actually done a video yet where I've reacted to the Scarlet and Violet cards yet. So I guess this is kind of the first reaction. But yeah, no, we get Research and Ultra Ball back. 2 staple cards coming back is really cool to see. I'm sure there might be more that will get revealed as time goes on. I have no doubt in my mind we're going to get more revealed in the future. Would like to see maybe something like another Special Energy come back. But we'll see. But first reaction's not bad. I think Arcanine's not a bad card. I think it's actually pretty good. It's got a pretty good, it's got that free, like, built-in ability, which is nice, which is kind of an extra bonus on top of it. And its attacks aren't even bad. It does have a lot of support. Fire Pokemon do have some support right now. This could even be decent and expanded with Welder, which is something to note. Not bad. Magnezone, not a bad card either. Again, Stage 2 Lenny Pokemon. And then, of course, we got the 2 other EXs here. And we got Ampharos. I liked Ampharos quite a bit. Beach Court's a pretty cool stadium. Want to see if that sees any play when rotation happens and we lose a lot of relevant stadiums like Training Court and stuff. But that'll be it for the video here on it. I'm going to leave a link down below to the PokeBeach article if y'all want to go check it out yourself. And that'll be it. And, yeah, pretty cool stuff. We're looking forward to Scarlet Violet. I can't wait for rotation. Man, I'm going to say right now, I am very excited for rotation. I'm highly anticipating that. But if y'all enjoyed today's video here on the second channel, make sure to subscribe and leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. And that'll be it for me. And I will catch you all in another video. Bye-bye.